Hey everyone, hope you had a great weekend. It's Monday, February 29th, and today we take a look at the meaning behind Black Lives Matter. Plus, we've got a pop quiz for you that may throw you for a leap. I'm Tom Hansen, and Channel 1 News starts right now. First up today, the IRS, the government agency that collects taxes, recently revealed that it was hacked and that sensitive information was stolen. And that sparked a debate about how safe our personal information is on the web. The IRS said scammers gained access to more than 700,000 accounts, more than double what was initially thought. The hack happened back in 2015, and the information stolen includes social security numbers, birth dates, and other data that scammers could use to impersonate a real taxpayer, file fake paperwork, and collect someone else's money. The IRS is mailing notifications to those who might be affected. Experts say these hacks show just how sensitive online security is, and why Congress approved new laws in December to fight back. But some are saying more needs to be done to keep private information safe. And last night, the stars were out on the red carpet for the 88th Annual Academy Awards, but Hollywood's biggest night was not without controversy. The golden statues were handed out, and the parties lasted into the night. Brie Larson, the star of Room, took home the Best Actress award.
Thank you to the fans, thank you to the moviegoers, thank you for going to the theater and seeing our films. I appreciate it, thank you.
Leonardo DiCaprio won Best Actor for his role in The Revenant.
Let us not take this planet for granted. I do not take tonight for granted. Thank you so very much.
But there was a dark cloud over the Oscars this year, with many pointing out the lack of diversity in nominees. Some stars decided to boycott the event. Protests were planned across the country, and Russell Simmons, the music mogul, even held his own award show at the same time, the All Deaf Movie Awards. In a rare mix of Oscars and politics, Vice President Joe Biden asked Americans to take a pledge against sexual abuse, an issue across many college campuses.
We must and we can change the culture so that no abused woman or man, like the survivors you will see tonight, ever feel they have to ask themselves, what did I do? They did nothing wrong.
And the end of the night was capped off with Spotlight winning Best Picture, beating out the favorite, The Revenant. Alright, coming up, we take a look at one hashtag movement that's been sweeping the country.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary.
Ah, Smokey!
Only you can prevent wildfires.
As we wrap up Black History Month, we're taking a look at race relations today, and one social media movement that has thousands of young people taking to the streets and calling for change. Ariel Hickson breaks down Black Lives Matter.
Back up, we want our freedom!
You've seen the protests, you know the hashtag, and you've heard from celebrities. But what is Black Lives Matter all about?
Since the civil rights movement, like the black movement has been almost stifled and it's been kind of put to the side, but now it's kind of almost like the reawakening of that same movement and of our generation trying to say that we are the next civil rights leaders, and we are the next people that are going to try to make revolutionary change in America.
The Black Lives Movement started with the death of Trayvon Martin in 2012. The unarmed black teenager was shot and killed by a resident who was part of the neighborhood watch. The shooter was not convicted of a crime. Many were outraged and felt it was part of a pattern of racism against black men. The movement gained more momentum after other cases made national headlines. Michael Brown, Eric Garner, and Freddie Gray, a black man who died while in police custody. Last year, this area of Baltimore was in complete chaos after the tragic death of Freddie Gray. All eyes were on the Black Lives Matter movement, leaving many with questions like what it meant, who it could involve, and how it could change race relations in the future.
The intentions of Black Lives Matter are very genuine to the true nature and fluidity of our people.
17-year-old Michaela Gilliam Price is an activist in Baltimore. She's a confident young voice determined to challenge racism and create equal opportunities for black students in her community. Her experience with activism started very young, when her mother was protesting against the death penalty for her uncle.
I was born into that space of like political, radical black thought, and then that was just carried through my entire life.
So she founded a grassroots organization to bring Black Lives Matter to a local scale for young students in her city.
We get very caught up in the hashtag and just like how nice it feels to say that we're a part of these movements, but truly no change is derived until we get on the ground and do that ourselves.
Although Michaela is an inspirational leader, her actions often have risks. Just last year, Michaela was arrested during a sit-in at Baltimore City Hall for protesting police actions following the death of Freddie Gray.
Were you fearful at all? Was it scary?
No, yeah, we were terrified. And so, like, as a protester, right, and as like an activist and organizer, you think that, I think we often adopt this like mentality that we're invincible in some way and we can just be fearless without consequence. I had to put in perspective that my voice and like the fact that people know me is not going to protect me when I'm one-on-one with a police officer who does not agree with my stance.
There has been some backlash. Critics of Black Lives Matter say it divided people rather than united them, and that it's promoting hatred toward police. But for Michaela, the movement is about inspiring and empowering other young people to help them make their communities stronger.
And I think that it's great that someone my age has like all this like organizing power. Like you really don't think about like students in high school like organizing walkouts and talking to police commissioners and doing news interviews and things like that. And I think it's like really amazing for someone, a peer of mine, to be like this powerful voice in the community.
There are a lot of risks for standing up for what you believe in.
Yeah.
But why is it important for students to have a voice?
I think student voice is so important because we occupy a space of fearlessness, right, where we can access positions and just be forgiven or written off because we're young, right? And so I think that's a luxury and it's almost a privilege that we should take advantage of as young people.
Inspiring a generation to lead, one protest at a time. Ariel Hickson, Channel 1 News.
Thanks, Ariel. And we've got more for you guys at channel1.com, including a special on African American innovators making important contributions to America. All right, after the break, we're leaping into a pop quiz.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Fruitocracy. For the free. Free to be heard. And free to be unique. The squeezable fruit pouch made from the real fruit you want, and free of what you don't. All new Fruitocracy. Fruitocracy. For the free. Free to be heard. And free to be unique. The squeezable fruit pouch made from the real fruit you want, and free of what you don't. All new Fruitocracy.
Okay, hope you guys are ready, because it's pop quiz time. And I gotta admit, this one even threw me for a loop, so here it goes. Normally, there are 365 days in a year, but not this year. This year, there are 366 days because it's a leap year. So that brings us to your pop quiz question. Leap years happen A, every 2 years, B, every 4 years, C, both of the above, or D, none of the above. You've got 10 seconds. Time's up. The answer is D, none of the above. Okay, this one is a bit tricky. Leap years occur almost every 4 years. We have to keep you on your toes, guys. So why do we even need to add a day to our calendar sometimes? Well, days doesn't line up exactly with nature. It actually takes the Earth a little bit more than 365 days to orbit around the Sun. It's more like 365.242199 days long, a difference of about 6 hours. Over time, that 6 hours can really add up, and would even flip seasons if the calendar wasn't corrected. In ancient Roman times, Emperor Julius Caesar knew this was a problem with the Roman calendar, and asked an astronomer to find a way to keep his calendar from straying off course. The astronomer calculated a year at 365.25 days, which was pretty close, and suggested adding an extra day to every 4th February to make up the time. But even that wasn't perfect, and over time, the calendar was off by a full 10 days. So in 1582, Pope Gregory XIII turned to his astronomer who came up with this plan. Every 4 years is a leap year. Except a centennial year, unless it's evenly divisible by 400 and not divisible by 4,000. So the year 2000 was a leap year, while 2100, for example, will not be. And even after all of that, our calendar is still off by about 26 seconds. So in the year 4909, we will be a full day ahead of the solar year. And if you think all of that is confusing, we won't even get into how February ended up being the shortest month of the year. Alright, that's it for us. Enjoy your extra day, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Shafer Sharks. I'm Skylar along with Suzanne, Mike, and Leah. It's Monday, February 29th, Day B, National Leap Day. An old Irish tradition allows women to propose marriage to a man on Leap Day.
Wow! Hey, do you know who wrote that rousing opening song? That was written by Gioacchino Rossini, and yes, he was born on this day in 1792.
And now, would you please rise for the pledge to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Thank you. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may now be seated. Please listen to our morning announcements.
Today's weather, scattered showers today with a high of 59 degrees. For lunch, head cook's choice. For dessert, cook's choice, along with your original healthy milk.
And happy birthday to our very own Shafer Leap Year teacher and technology genius, Mr. Allen, who celebrates his birthday today. Let's hear that birthday song.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Blow your candles out and make your wishes come true. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
The library is closed today. I repeat, the library is closed.
Today's Sharks announcements. Broad Street practice is on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday this week. Saturday's practice is at Ben Salem High School at 9 a.m. The first Saturday practice will only last about an hour. Time will increase each Saturday as our mileage increases. Remember, you need to be at Saturday practices.
Also, after this week, we are not taking any more runners. If you aren't at practice this week with your permission slip and PIAA sports physical, it will be too late. The race is very early this year, and we need to be properly trained. And here's Mike.
Attention all track stars. Track tryouts will begin on Monday, March 14th after school. You must have a physical in order to try out. Please come prepared with your sneakers, a change of clothes, and a great attitude. Reminder, if you are ineligible, you will not be able to try out and you will miss your chance to be a part of all the fun. Please be mindful of your grades, check Home Access Center daily, hand in all of your work, and put forth the effort now. It's going to be an exciting season.
Any questions? And for physical forms, please see Mrs. McKenty, room 218, or Mr. Plunkett, room 103.
Attention girls interested in spring soccer tryouts. They will begin on March 14th. Make sure you have a completed physical turned in to the nurse.
Arctic Club is selling pretzels every Wednesday to raise money for community service. We donate food cards to those organizations in need in the Ben Salem community.
Building bridges will be here this week for 7th grade. Please have paper and a pencil with you. 8th grade, report to your homerooms.
And JHS tutoring will be held on Thursday in the library.
This Wednesday, March 2nd, is Read Across America Day. On Dr. Seuss's birthday, we plan to honor him with a Wacky Hat Wednesday. All students are welcome to pay $1 in order to wear a hat that day. And the wackier the hat, the better. The wackiest hats will be entered into a contest, and the winner will take home a gift card to Barnes & Noble. All proceeds will benefit our library fund.
To celebrate our ending to Black History Month, Misty Daniel Copeland, age 33, is an American ballet dancer for American Ballet Theater, one of the 3 leading classical ballet companies in the United States. On June 30th, 2015, Copeland became the first African-American woman to be promoted to principal dancer in ABT's 75-year history.
And that concludes the show for today. Make this day a good one. Keep it classy, stay beautiful.
you.